And my strong rockets. These are missiles, yeah. These are fucking missiles.
They should have you sign the walls somewhere. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
I do not believe that Conor makes it to the White House. Let's just live with that theory, though. Will Conor be able to manipulate the media even after he doesn't make it? He has pretended that he's coming back for 5 years. If the White House comes and goes, can he pretend, oh, I didn't come there, but you'll see me in November. You'll see me next January. Or will that be the final ruse of McGregor?
I think you are one of the few people that still believe Conor at times. You don't. Most people don't, but you do. I remember that one time where I was laughing at you. I was like, chill. You're like the girlfriend, man, that just keeps going back every time. Dude, he's just a bad guy. Like, you know he doesn't deserve you. But every time he calls, you're like, you know what? Maybe he's changed. No, chill. Only you still believe that Conor's coming back. He doesn't go to the White House.
Despite the absence of a named opponent, Conor McGregor trains like contracts are inked in blood and the cage door is locked. The air crackles as everyone feels him loading the moment. The White House card is assembling, the spotlight unavoidable. One question stalks the buildup: who dares step forward, knowing speculation is already sharpening its knives behind closed doors and silent cameras.
Donald agrees to your terms for the White House card.
You know, I'm not negotiating with the UFC on behalf of myself for this fight, like usual. I'm negotiating with the United States of America on behalf of Ireland for this fight. So it's a peculiar one. But Trump and the administration have been fully supportive and backing, and I cannot wait.
That uncertainty only magnifies the noise, turning whispers into pressure. While McGregor trains like his return is unavoidable and already carved into history, Dana White publicly smothers the idea, hiding behind shrugs, half-smiles, and evasive answers whenever the question surfaces. Privately, the signs scream the opposite, yet he dodges it, behaving as if everything still floats unresolved. The hesitation feels deliberate as the White House card sharpens into view, not disbelief but a calculated pause, a measured breath before locking in something that already feels destined to explode.
Definitely. So you don't see any world that, like, Conor comes back? I know there was, like, him on the billboards with Paramount Plus.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if Conor's going to come back or not. You know, we've been talking about it for a while. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I don't know.
Dana stays guarded when the talk drifts toward potential matchups, his caution thickening the air. He waves away the idea of McGregor versus Chandler, labeling it a relic of another time, not worthy of a White House stage. Other familiar names surface, Jon Jones among them, yet every suggestion drags a hidden condition behind it. Nothing is clean, nothing is simple. The subtext lands hard and unmistakable. Star power matters, but only when the fight is real, imminent, and capable of surviving the pressure, especially under lights that intense.
I know there's, like, all the talk of Michael Chandler and Conor. Do you see, like, that as, like, a realistic thing happening?
No, I mean, that was a couple years ago.
Yeah, so that's nothing you'd entertain for the White House?
No.
And I saw recently, too, that Joe Rogan was saying that you should just have Alex fight Jon Jones at the White House. Is that something you feel like?
At 205?
I mean, yeah, I guess, or...
Yeah, I mean, that would be a fight, but can I count on Jon Jones?
Yeah.
Can't have Jon Jones doing something bad or pulling out of the...
That outside confidence only deepens the contrast, sharpening every edge of the narrative. While Dana White keeps his responses sealed and carefully neutral, Eric Trump openly leans into the idea of the sport's biggest names headlining a White House card. He presents Jon Jones as the kind of fighter who would rise to a moment this symbolic, and talks about McGregor as if his involvement is the natural conclusion, even hinting they could be paired together. Coming from someone so close to the venue itself, the speculation stops feeling like fantasy and starts to resemble momentum unfolding in real time. With every comment, anticipation tightens and the card inches closer to becoming a full-scale spectacle. Everyone seems locked in, but Demetrius Johnson refuses to stay quiet about who he believes truly deserves the spotlight. He argues that Conor McGregor and Jon Jones shouldn't be guaranteed a place on the White House card purely on name value or past glory. In his view, fighters grinding daily, actively competing, and earning their shots in the cage deserve precedence over stars who select moments at their convenience. It's a sharp call for merit over mythology, a reminder that even legends shouldn't cut the line while others are bleeding, winning, and making fights happen right now.
Like, let's say Jon Jones comes back, he fights Johnson Almeida. He was like, you know what? I want to be on the White House card. What do I got to do? They're like, okay, you fight the winner of Volkov versus Johnson Almeida. Bet. And then he beats Johnson Almeida. Then it's okay, perfect. You're going to fight the winner of XYZ on the White House. Perfect. I'm all for it. But I just don't like when somebody's iced, sitting there chilling. They get to pick and choose what they do. Maybe they earn that right. I have no idea. Right? But for me, I want to see guys who are putting the fucking, rubber to the pavement. Whether and all the accomplishment Jon Jones has done, it's amazing. I'm not denying that. I'm just saying that if we got guys who are on the roster who are fucking fighting their asses off, they should have the first dibs to get on the White House. Even for Conor, we don't need his ass on the White House, right? But I know him and Donald Trump, they got some good things going, but I just don't want to see other athletes miss out on an opportunity that are fighting.
Then Manny Pacquiao steps into the chaos with a bold proposal of his own, shifting the energy instantly. He calls for a White House boxing match against McGregor, a move that feels equal parts challenge and provocation. For Pacquiao, it's not just business, it's personal, tied to loyalty to his friend Khabib and a desire to force McGregor to prove himself under unforgiving lights. He doesn't soften the message or hide the intent. As each new voice piles on, the event stops sounding like a rumor and starts feeling like an unavoidable collision. Every call-out tightens the pressure, stacking tension higher, turning the White House card into something dangerous, volatile, and potentially the most unpredictable fight stage the sport has ever seen.
Now, another big name that you've been linked with over the years, and there was very big rumours about you and Conor McGregor. I know Umar Kremlev has said that he wants to maybe stage that fight one day in Russia. Do you think that would ever happen, you boxing Conor McGregor, or you having a crossover fight with Conor McGregor?
Oh yeah, that's possible also with Conor McGregor. It depends, but as long as I can still fight.
And then just final one from me, similar to Conor McGregor, have Khabib Nurmagomedov, who is of course a massive star in MMA and undefeated fighter. If you had the choice between fighting Conor McGregor and Khabib Nurmagomedov, who would you fight and why?
McGregor.
And why would it be McGregor, not Khabib?
Too much.
Do you prefer that?
I want to shut his mouth out.
Do you prefer that somebody at Khabib is very humble, is a very religious man? You prefer that type of person?
He's a nice guy. He's a nice person, humble, and that's an inspiration. A good role model for sport.
On the other hand, Chael Sonnen cuts through the noise with a colder dose of reality, drawing attention to just how strange this entire situation truly is. He admits it's difficult to imagine anyone other than Conor McGregor standing at the center of the spotlight. No matter how the pieces are shuffled, Michael Chandler might get consideration, but Sonnen makes it clear the matchup isn't about balance or fairness, it's about spectacle and perception. He stresses that McGregor isn't even expected to win, and pairing him with the wrong opponent could turn the whole production into something embarrassing, even absurd. In Sonnen's view, the White House card isn't simply a fight night, it's a calculated gamble, a tightrope walk between hype and reality, where one misstep could expose how fragile the entire idea really is.
You turn to Michael Chandler. It's very hard for me to believe that Conor McGregor is going to return and that anybody else get that opportunity. I feel if we're going by what the right thing to do, and we don't have to do that, by the way. The right thing to do has got 20 different answers, not to mention what difference does it make, right? I mean, these aren't children where you're trying to do it right in Little League and everybody gets a turn to bat. It's not like that. But if it was, I think it would have to be Chandler, or at least Chandler would have to sure be considered. And you're also going to have to take into consideration to some degree, like we don't need Conor to win. We're not even expecting him to win. We're a little bit further. We acknowledge there's no way that Conor can win. And you're putting him in a beyond silly situation. We have never returned somebody after a 4-year break and put them in a 5-round out.
Chael Sonnen lays out the harsh realities, and Michael Chandler follows by grounding the conversation in practicality. He makes it clear the lingering uncertainty doesn't sit with him at all. In his view, everything hinges on McGregor and the obstacles he still must clear before any return becomes real. Chandler highlights his own professionalism, stressing that he stays ready, prepared, and waiting the moment a contract is finally signed. Still, he leaves a narrow crack of hope open, admitting discussions are ongoing and nothing is fully dead yet. One point, however, is locked in without debate. Chandler will be on the White House card on June 14th, standing under those lights regardless of how the McGregor saga ultimately unravels.
I don't know, Michael. The more we learn about, Conor's side of things here, I feel like this fight maybe not happening between you two there. It has less to do with you and probably more to do with him and his situation. Is that maybe, I don't know, making you more okay or digest this better to seem like he has a lot to figure out before he even gets back in the cage?
Yeah, never has anything to do with me, man. I'm the most reliable, most professional man in mixed martial arts, maybe in the history of mixed martial arts. So when I sign my name to a dotted line, I show up and do the work every single day. With that being said, there's still some hope there that maybe that fight happens. We shall see. But, we're having some conversations, and either way, I will be on the White House lawn.
Chandler's excitement is impossible to miss as he starts sketching the vision of what lies ahead. Even with the matchup still unsettled and shifting behind the scenes, he welcomes anyone, locking his focus on the larger meaning of standing inside a truly historic moment. The image alone carries weight. Walking out from the Oval Office, tens of thousands watching, the backdrop of America's 250th anniversary amplifying every step. It's the kind of stage that never comes around twice. Chandler is already looking past the fight itself, planning camps, adjusting routines, and mentally placing himself inside an experience no fighter has ever lived. He's visualizing unfamiliar angles, strange energy, and pressure unlike anything inside a traditional arena. That lingering uncertainty doesn't slow him down, it fuels the build-up, sharpening the sense that something volatile is forming. With so many variables still unresolved, the White House card begins to feel less like a standard event and more like uncharted territory, a stage that could redefine spectacle in combat sports.
To hear anything, but Dana was very clear, like the matchmaking was going to start last week. Have you been involved in at least conversations since that point?
Conversations have been had, but we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out, Mike.
Yeah, and you're open to anyone. I feel like you just want to fight on that card.
Yeah, man. So we'll see.
And what would that mean? Would that be you've won some big fights? It doesn't matter who the guy is, but like, can you think of what that moment can be like? I mean, President Trump is out there saying all crazy things about 100,000 people. It's going to be insane and unique and one of a kind. Walking out from the Oval Office, can you even fathom and picture this moment yet?
Not really, man. It is historic, and it's a one-of-one type of event. It will never happen again. Could never happen again, probably. So, it's cool, man. It's a bright future. It's a really, really cool event. It's America's 250th anniversary, so I'm excited about that. So we'll get the matchup set. We'll sign a contract. We'll get our date set. I've already kind of started laying the foundation of a training camp, and I need to start laying the foundation of the visualization of what this thing is going to look like, because the problem is we don't know what the heck it's going to look like. It's going to be a brand new venue.
However, Daniel Cormier injects a different layer into the discussion, subtly shifting the focus. He acknowledges that Conor McGregor's star power exists on its own level, something no one else in the sport truly touches. Yet he points to Ilia Topuria as the rare fighter who has come closest to matching the weight of expectation, not through fame, but by actually delivering from the moment he entered the UFC. Cormier's comments quietly fan the flames of a dangerous possibility, hinting that a collision between McGregor's unrivaled draw and Topuria's accelerating momentum might be forming just beneath the surface, waiting for the right moment to erupt.
I think it's unfair to compare people to Conor McGregor. I really do. I don't think anybody will ever reach that level of stardom. But I believe if there isn't category that you could compare Ilia to Conor, and it'd be just, it's the fact that he had all that hype and he's lived up to it. I don't know that he ever becomes a star Conor does, but I believe he has lived up to the hype and the expectation at a level that was thrust on him from the moment he got to the UFC, and he should be very proud of that.
Both Daniel Cormier and Chael Sonnen refuse to sugarcoat the stakes. If Conor McGregor bypasses the White House card, all the chatter about his comeback starts to ring hollow. For half a decade, he's dangled the idea of returning, teasing fans, igniting rumors, and stoking speculation at every turn. But Cormier and Sonnen make one thing abundantly clear: words can only carry him so far. The White House stage isn't just another fight, it's a statement, a moment capable of crystallizing everything he's hinted at for years. Skip it, and the aura surrounding his return threatens to unravel, tumbling from hype into doubt, leaving both fans and fighters questioning whether the legend is still committed, still dangerous, still the force he claims to be.
I do not believe that Conor makes it to the White House. Let's just live with that theory, though. Will Conor be able to manipulate the media even after he doesn't make it? He has pretended that he's coming back for 5 years. If the White House comes and goes, can he pretend, oh, I didn't come there, but you'll see me in November. You'll see me next January. Or will that be the final ruse of McGregor?
I think you are one of the few people that still believe Conor at times. You don't, most people don't, but you do. I remember that one time where I was laughing at you. I was like, chill. You're like the girlfriend, man, that just keeps going back every time. Dude, he's just a bad guy. Like, you know he doesn't deserve you. But every time he calls, you're like, you know what? Maybe he's changed. So chill. Only you still believe that Conor's coming back. He doesn't go to the White House, it's done. Because here's the deal. Love it, hate it, love him or hate him. The White House card is going to be the biggest card we've ever had. But it can only be the biggest card that you will ever see if Conor McGregor is on the card. Am I wrong to say that?
No.
It can be the biggest. It'll be a stacked card. It'll be an amazing card. But the only way it's the biggest card that we've ever seen is if Conor McGregor's on it.
Dan Hooker adds his own spark to the speculation, tossing out a suggestion for McGregor's next opponent and hinting that the White House card could be the perfect arena for someone capable of matching Conor's intensity. Drawing on the story about Paddy, he underscores just how unpredictable and relentless McGregor is, a challenge that goes beyond pure skill. Hooker's perspective makes it clear the right opponent must navigate the mental warfare, the blinding hype, and the chaos of facing McGregor on such a singular, high-profile stage. Layered atop all this conjecture, Ariel Helwani steps in to chart how the White House card might actually unfold. He points out that with McGregor absent from competition for nearly 5 years, the UFC's options for a financially and fan-wise viable comeback are limited. Helwani suggests that if McGregor returns, a fight with Paddy could be on the table, though Michael Chandler remains the frontrunner. He also breaks down potential matchups across the rest of the card: GY versus Ilya, Arman possibly needing a different opponent, while cautioning that plans could twist and shift in countless ways before the lights go up. So the question remains, who will step up to face McGregor? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and make sure to hit subscribe to stay locked into every update as the White House fight card continues to evolve.